School doesn't necessarily teach you the stuff that you actually want to learn.
Many teenagers in our age do actually only study for exams, but that is simply because we may not have an interest in some of the subjects that we study.
The will is achievable, but in the majority of people it is not present.
If you could improve one thing about the Albanian educational system, what would it be?
One thing? There must be more, in my opinion. There are a lot of stuff.
If it was only one thing, I would introduce a very early subject of logic and philosophy and take them very seriously.
I think that our education system has quite a lot of flaws, but the main one is that we need our system to be more oriented towards practice and interactive learning.
I would like to change the people thinking that academical validation is everything.
If I had the chance to improve something about the educational system in Albania, it would probably be the equality and quality of education.
I would say more practice. Practice make it perfect.
I have sacrificed sleep to study. 3, 2, 1.
I personally have done this, and a lot more than once, because I'm what people would call a night owl. I feel like I'm more productive at night, and so I finish all important projects during the nighttime and then go to school with a few hours of sleep.
I too have sacrificed sleep to study, and I don't think it's the right choice, but I still do it because I don't think we have enough time to actually study all the materials that the teachers give us.
Well, I have a really busy agenda during the day, and studying also has to fit in this very busy agenda. So whenever I have to study, I also sometimes have to not get enough sleep.
I have also sacrificed sleep to study when I had, rarely actually, when I had some busy schedules. I think that if we go back to the topic of school preparing us for real life, losing sleep over an exam is pretty practical for real life, because later in life you're going to lose sleep rarely again over some important things, and today if that important thing is an exam, tomorrow it's going to be something else, and you should be prepared to lose sleep and to sacrifice some basic needs from time to time for some higher goal.
Taking it in consideration as a personal statement, yes, I sacrifice sleep for my exams and for my study schedules, but if I had the opportunity to rephrase it, should we sacrifice sleep to study? I think that the answer will be no.
I have sacrificed sleep and other basic human needs to study, but I definitely don't promote and recommend it, because sacrificing sleep happens for a variety of reasons. For example, you have a busy day agenda, or some teachers don't give the homework in the right time, and the time pressures you.
Yes, I also have sacrificed sleeping. The day before exam, everyone is stressful, and everyone needs to open their books again and again and again, and to learn something.
You have all said that you sacrifice sleep, clearly by going in the agree side, yet most of you said that you should not recommend it to other people and it's not beneficial. So why do you do it? Please move to the disagree side if you think that this sacrifice is actually worth it in the long run.
I have to say that I've been sacrificing sleep before high school even, maybe since I was in 8th grade when the workload started getting really big. And sometimes I would regret it because I would get an A+, and even others who put in way less effort but still get an A+. But I believe that all those hours of sleep that I sacrificed have helped me gain extra skills, extra knowledge.
I kind of do agree with the statement, but I would say that there comes a time where your brain stops, because all of these sleepless nights, all of these sacrifices just make you physically tired. And I have also benefited from the nights I have skip sleeping, but I don't think that in the long term this is beneficial for your health nor for your academic preparation.
I also said that you should do sleep very rarely when it is absolutely necessary, and that is important in the long run, not because of an A plus or because of a good grade, because it's just a grade, just a number. But when you learn the sacrifice, I think it is very good to know what it takes to be one of the best.
So in my case, I've benefited from it, and I think that it was worth it, all those sleepless nights to be where I am now. I do not promote it to the ones that aren't in that kind of mood to risk it all. And that.
I really like that approach, but I would finally like to add that these sleepless nights, most of the cases, they can be avoided. If you do not procrastinate and if you had good time management, most of the time you do not have to skip sleep.
Art is an important subject. 3, 2, 1.
One of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite movies as well says that while engineering, medicine, and science are required for life or for society to exist, art, literature, love, and human feelings are what make life worth living. In this context, I believe that art is actually an important subject, and it is the kind of subject that you always look forward to.
Personally, I think that art should be gone further than just a subject. I think it has to do more with promoting creativity and the freedom of expressing feelings and showing emotions. And art is the pathway to achieving all of these emotional connections or actions that can be equally important, such as studying or etc., etc.
I do agree too, because it has actually been scientifically proved that people who take art classes do way better in other classes, for example, mathematics, literature, English, etc., because art helps you improve as a person. Art helps you self-express way better. Art helps you concentrate and even motivates you sometimes.
I once read a study about how if we didn't have artists, we wouldn't be able to learn sciences either. And it was actually a very interesting study, but you know how most of us learn biology and chemistry through the designs in our textbooks or 3D videos on YouTube? Those clearly aren't made by scientists, they're made by artists.
Art makes life beautiful.
And simple.
On that note, I would like you to move to disagree if you think that in Albania, or in your school in particularly, the art subject is not taught properly.
In middle school, most teachers who teach art aren't even art teachers. They're just teachers who are simply given the subject. But in my high school, I studied at Sami Frashëri, and artists are really promoted and valued. So that is something that I consider to be a privilege.
Yeah, I do agree. Even in my high school, I come from Petrolini Duarasi High School, artists are really promoted, but I think that we should learn more about art. I'm not saying that artists are not promoted, but I think we should learn more about art.
I agree.
Honestly, I'm a pianist myself, and during the 1st and the 9th grade, art wasn't very promoted though, because people were like, you're gonna become an artist, it's not that worth it, your grades, they're excellent. And art in Albania is taken as a joke, like no one actually takes it seriously. And after that, when I came into the high school, Shamal Stafa, I actually had the opportunity to actually play some pieces to my school, to Art Fest, and participate. But I think that artists should not be taken as a joke anymore, and we should be based as a good part of society.
Yes, I agree, and I think that art is not taught properly in my school because it's not taught at all, and we don't even have the choice to choose it when we first join the school. But I think that there are students who actually take art as a part of their life and love it, and they should at least have the choice to choose it.
Was there an opinion that particularly stood out to you today during the debate?
In my opinion, the most interesting part of the debate was during the last prompt about art.
The opinion of all the people in art,
I was like confused most of the time about all the opinions because I was realizing that there is like more than one point of view.
People that still see education as a privilege, to be honest, the Illuminists were the ones that fought to make this right.
So would you say that this debate challenged your views on education?
Yes, I would say that this debate really challenged my views on education, and what I learned the most is that education is really relative, and people see it in different perspectives.
No, they were, all opinions were good and well said.
Education is important, and we are here to improve education, considering that education is one of the strongest weapons the country can have.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope that you enjoyed that useful insight into the minds of Albanian youth.
We give you a chance, you give us your brilliant ideas. If you want to participate on our program, feel free to click the link down below.
And if you want to know more about us and support our cause, please follow our YouTube channel and our socials.
Thank you for your attention. Have a great day and see you on Albania's Education next video. See you soon!